Hello and welcome. In this tutorial video you will learn how you can get your scan data into VirtuSurv and how you can get started with VirtuSurv. You will learn how you can create a VirtuSurv project and how you can import laser scan data into it. When you start VirtuSurv, you will always get this welcome dialog, and here you will find, if you don't have already a VirtuSurv project, you can find one under this Download Examples Project button. It will guide you to a website where you can download one or two prepared VirtuSurv examples. Down here you can, if you already have imported scan data in VirtuSurv, you can open a recent project. But when you start VirtuSurv the first time, this space will be empty and you will have to start with creating a new project. So let's start with creating a new project right now, clicking this button. Here you can enter a name for your project and you can browse to a directory or folder where you want to store your project. I have already selected my example projects for VirtuSurv, and so I just enter a name for the project I want to import. Let's call it headquarter, because it's the FARO 3D software headquarter here in Dresden. Hit create, and you will see on the top left of the project explorer we will have now the new project. It is still empty. By right-clicking on the project name, we get a context menu. We can save the project, we can close it, and to fill the project we can either import scans or add scans. We can the add scans functionality is only makes sense if you have already some scan data in VirtuSurv format. Then you can click there and browse for a directory where you have already stored some data, like I have here. If I hit OK, I will get a scan list and could select scans from here. But I do want to import completely new scan data which is not already there in the VirtuSurv format. So I will select import scans. I can do it either from the toolbar up here or from the right-click menu in here, import scans. Alright, having opened the import dialog, I can browse, and I will browse for my scan project. We have import possibilities for E57 scan files, or for FARO scan files. Leica files like PTG or PTX can be imported too. We can also import TopCon files, CL3, CLR, or Solon-Fröhlich files. I have here a FARO scan project file, LSProj. I will select this one, hit open, and it will take a few seconds, and I get a list of all the scans which are included in this specific scan project. In the scan list I can select if I want to import all those scans or just certain scans. I can click on a scan and scroll down, hold down the shift button to select all of the scans, and if I click here, there's a checkbox. I can deselect all the scans, or I can select single scans by checking the box in front, or I can hold down the control key on my keyboard. I can even select this number of scans. Let me select some, deselect them once more. I would just select 4 of these scans, and Another thing I like to show you is, or explain to you is, very important, the import settings for the scan unit, because this will define how we can scale the scans later on, or scale our measured coordinates or distances. So it's important to make this setting correctly. So with FARO scans, usually it's true that the scan unit is meters. So the default setting is meters, but we have a list of different. We can also do some resampling to reduce data size, but in most cases you will want to keep the highest resolution of your scan data. And if you do not know if your scan data or scan views are orientated correctly, you can check the scan view orientation by hitting this scan view orientation button. You select the scan you are interested in here in the list. It's marked, highlighted in light blue, and then you hit the scan view orientation button, and it takes a few seconds till the preview is opened. So here you can see the preview of the scan. It's always shown in grayscale, not in color. So here you can check if the scan orientation is correct. If you don't like how the planar view of the scan is splitted, then you can define a new vertical center line for splitting the scan open. So for instance, we can define the window frame as a center line because we are interested in the window with our evaluation. You can see the operations listed down here in the status field. We can undo our last operation clicking the undo last operation button. I could also rotate the scan by 180 degrees, which doesn't make much sense in this example, so I can undo this. If I'm interested in the ceiling more than in the walls during my evaluation, I could define a new center, hitting this button and click here, and you can see I have now quite pretty good straight lines in the ceiling, and I can see that there's a star here in the ceiling. And I can apply this operations to the scan here, clicking OK, or if I don't want to apply those operations, I could just hit cancel. Okay. For scans where a preview already has been created, we have a green marker. So if I go back in here, it's immediately there. Alright. So this is something you can use if you're not sure if your scan views do look correctly or not. But if you're sure that your FARO scan data is okay, you don't need this option actually. Then you can just, after having selected your scans and marked those scans for import, you just hit OK, and then it takes a while for VirtuSurv to convert into the VirtuSurv optimized format. We do that because then loading scan data works quickly during our evaluation process, so we invest in some import time here to be able to work more quickly with the imported data later on. Depending on the number of scans, the import time may be just a few minutes up to several hours. Once the import is finished, you will see the imported scans in the Project Explorer on the left hand side, and you can also see the scan spheres in the scan map window. So I can open a scan view by either clicking on it in the Project Explorer, and you can see it's immediately also highlighted in the scan map window. I can also open a scan by clicking on a scan sphere in the scan map, and I can arrange scans side by side using this tile button over here, and all the three windows are corresponding. So when I click in the scan Project Explorer, I can switch between the scan windows, or also by clicking between in the scan map I can activate the scans in the working window. You can also close the scan views again and open by clicking here, or let's say click in here. Here you can see a room. I can zoom in by using the mouse wheel or zoom out. I can pan by holding down the mouse wheel, and so this is how I can navigate in my VirtuSurv window. And if I right click on a scan in the Project Explorer, I can get a context menu. Here I can remove a single scan from a project, I can save a single scan, I can also export from a scan, and I can switch between different views. For instance, sometimes if I have a true color view of a scan, the contrasts are not very good, then I can switch to intensity coloring grayscale, and you can see like here, this edge over here, the room edge in the corner, comes out much more clearly in the intensity view compared to the RGB color. See? So sometimes it makes sense to use grayscale intensity view. With VirtuSurv I can pick coordinates. Let me zoom in here. Here the coordinates are displayed in meters currently, up to a precision of millimeters. I can configure my measurement unit using this command. I can switch to, let's say, for instance, millimeters, and I can also change the decimal marker or enable a thousand group marker, sorry. And I could also change the precision. So let's say if I want to pick the room height, I can click on the ceiling and on the floor, and down here in the status window I can see the distance now in between those 2 points in millimeters, get a horizontal distance and a vertical distance. So my room height is 3086 millimeters. If I want to have it in meters, I just need to click here. I can also change the precision. Alright, say OK, and let's say we want to know the width of this door, so I just continuing measuring the distance. So I get the door width, which is here now 85 centimeters. Now in measurement unit is now meters. Okay. Besides measuring coordinates and distances, I can also with VirtuSurv send coordinates and distances into a CAD system. VirtuSurv does provide direct links to AutoCAD as well as BricsCAD. We also provide a generic link to any Windows program like Excel or whatever Windows application you have enabled. We can get with this link. We can also get in coordinates into CAD systems. VirtuSurv also provides a direct link to the Timberwork software SEMA. So a lot of connections from VirtuSurv to other software. If you want to get more information on how you can use VirtuSurv for drawing in CAD systems or for filling in forms in databases, please watch one of our other tutorial videos.